Vernon Guillen speaks, checking in. Um, I'm gonna do a three-part series to this Austin Metcalf Carmelo Anthony situation. I'm gonna just play a few exhibits, give my commentary, and in the last part, I'm gonna give my conclusion on what's gonna happen and why. But I want to let these three gentlemen. Well, no, I'm sorry. I want to let these two gentlemen speak. Of course, I'll chime in if needed. They pretty airtight with what they saying, and I'm gonna play a lady in conclusion, and that's when I'm gonna give my full commentary before I end the video. Um, so let's get into this.
Yeah, I think sometimes some things just need to be said. Um, I've had a couple debates about the whole Austin Metcalf murder, and basically, what I'm getting from this is that there are a lot of people still in 2025 who think that you are just supposed to walk around seeing the whole world through the lens of race, and that's just not the person that I am, right? This particular situation, I look at this situation through the lens of a father, right? Because I have a son that plays sports, and I cannot imagine taking my son to a soccer game or a basketball game, and the end result is him being dead, stabbed in the chest over what? A argument, a confrontation, a shove, a push. I mean, I don't think that there's a scenario where you could convince me as a father, right? If my kid didn't have a gun, a knife, a stick, a slingshot, a screwdriver, nothing, right? There's nothing that you can tell me to convince me that someone else is justified in stabbing him in the heart and fucking killing him. You can't justify it. I don't give a fuck what color the person is, nothing. Because this is just what I would describe as just everyday teenage boy shit. Like, I used to be 17 years old, right? And we got into little scuffles and mishaps and stuff like that because that's just teenage boy shit. And at no point in time did anybody ever die behind it, at least around me. You understand what I'm saying? And in the situations where it did, nobody was, jumping to defend the killer. I don't understand it, man. And it's sad that this has become, like a race thing, because I thought about this, right? And I don't doubt it for even a second, right? If you took this exact same scenario and just simply swapped the race of the two kids, all the people who are saying this was self-defense, they would be demanding justice. They'd be ready to march up and down the goddamn street.
And that's why black people. This is and I'm also what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna file this under my message to the black community, right? This is why y'all not respected, black people. This is why y'all not respected. Just like it's just almost like the Democratic Party. This is why nobody is taking the Democratic Party serious. Because being hypocritical in front of the world makes you a laughing stock. You don't get respect for that. Not one hypocrite in the world that hypocrisy have came to the surface for the world to see is going to receive respect from somebody. Now, I will say this here, because people like to blur the lines. It's a difference from being hypocritical and bringing awareness from something that you overcame. Case in point, say for instance, I was a drug dealer. I was in the streets. I lived that life. But I have been rehabilitated, saved, sanctified, and changed my life. Now I'm speaking against that. You're going to have people to say, hey, you used to do that. Well, I'm rehabilitated. I'm a changed man. So now I'm trying to change people and stop them from going down the same route that I went down. So now I'm bringing awareness to the situation. But being hypocritical and bringing awareness is different. Being hypocritical is doing something and speaking against it, and or having or like they say, being offended by everything, but not being ashamed of that. You should be ashamed to come on social media with your face out, not hide, and say it's good Austin Metcalf was killed because he white. He deserved that. We not, quote unquote, we as in black people, we not taking that no more. White people don't rule us no more. Justifying Carmelo killing that young man, right? All because he black. You know, black people, man, I'm gonna show you something, man. You know, they wonder why they in a condition as a whole. I'm not talking about everyone. There's always an exception to the rule. And a lot of black people, such as this brother on the screen, is beginning to wake up. God is waking a lot of us up. Well, God is the author of anything. So he's waking everybody up. But I'm saying that to say, you know, some people, like for myself, when I came to Christ for myself, I was raised in Christ in the Christ household. But when I came to Christ on my own in 2018, I began to see things from a Christian perspective. And immediately I said to myself, the black community is in disarray. Why? And all the answer was right there, right there for me to see. And so we have a culture of shoot 'em up, bang, bang, bang. I was telling a young lady the other day, it's so funny that the average young child today from middle school all the way up to college, but from middle school for sure, starting, and that's what, 11, 12 years old, younger than that in some cases, all day, all night, they're listening to the young girl, they're listening to the boy rappers saying, kill, shoot. They listen to the girl rappers tell them, basically, be a prostitute. And we know from, especially, we learned, and we didn't know, we learned immediately when rap music came on the scene, the black community changed. A lot of people say, well, it was crack that did it. Well, crack was a big thing in the 80s that really destroyed black America, but it also was the rap music. And so a lot of us young black men, we have that gangster, nobody not gonna tell me nothing, and especially a white boy, just not gonna happen. And because of that, Mr. Carmelo Anthony act out of impulse and made one of the probably the biggest mistake of his life. And people are taking his side, justifying that because he's black. Because again, black people are suffering from their own issues. They're most of them are demonic. They don't worship God. They believe in God, but as we know, the scriptures say even the devil believe in God. Black people believe in God, but they don't worship God. They worship celebrities. They worship Democratic politicians. They worship athletes. They worship money. And most of them worship skin color. Skin color overrides everything in black America for the most part. A lot of us, as I said, waking up, but I'm saying it's still the masses of black people who will worship black over anything. Same, just like it happened with Barack Obama. And I know I'm getting off subject, but just like what happened in Barack Obama, you know, a lot of Christians had no business vote. No Democrat really, but no Democrat had no business. No Christian had no business vote for Barack Obama. This man was open. It wasn't like he hid it. He was open about passing gay marriage. That should have been a deal breaker for every Christian, but they didn't because he was black. And this is what these people do. Even no matter how evil it is, if it's black, we're going to take the black people's side. And we're going to justify why we took the black people's side. And like this brother is saying, if it was the other way around, it'd have been a hoorah. Right? And this is why the country is currently going through a thing called black fatigue. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I will in another video, but I'm going to let this brother finish his commentation. I'm going to let this brother finish saying what he's saying, and I'm going to finish my commentary.
Sweating and spitting and hollering and all that shit. I guarantee it. Not only that, but if there was a situation between two black kids, if this was two black kids, all the people who care so much about this wouldn't even give a fuck. They wouldn't give a...
Again, amen. This happens every single day. Every single day. And all across America. And I'm talking about it happens like we kill a roach. That's how much it happens. It's not even a big deal no more. every day in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Florida, Atlanta, different parts of Georgia, St. Louis, Chicago, New York, New Jersey, Michigan, Detroit, Flint, Ohio, Gary, Indiana, Phoenix, Arizona, LA, San Diego. I can just go on and on and on. Say all these black communities all through Memphis. They kill, I mean, all through Tennessee. They killing each other like it ain't no tomorrow, and nobody cares. Nobody making videos about it. And again, going back to what I said about bringing awareness versus being hypocritical, everybody laughing at black people because they say, y'all wait till somebody get killed by a cop, wait till somebody black get killed by a white person, then y'all have upgrade when that very seldom happens, but y'all kill each other every day and don't say nothing about it. And you think we're going to respect that? Ha, ha, ha. That's almost like, that's the equivalent of you having a wife as a man, right? Or you having a child, right? I'm going to use a child because that's unisex. And you abuse your child verbally and physically, right? But you go on the porch and see your neighbor whipping their child and you tell them they wrong. When you verbally and physically abuse your child every day, but you telling the neighbor what he should do with their child. That's the equivalent of you telling white people and anybody else, if Negroes wouldn't kill each other like that, they would have a voice. They would have a point. They would have a call that people would respect. And they wouldn't be getting killed by other people so much because people would know, okay, listen, these people don't play, but they know y'all a joke. And y'all ain't gonna do nothing anyway but march. Y'all ain't gonna then burn and steal. Ain't like y'all gonna stop spending y'all money and start spending y'all money in the neighborhood with each other. Y'all not gonna do that. Y'all not gonna do nothing. Eventually, it's gonna blow over and y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all gonna go to work and y'all gonna ask Mr. Charlie how it was his fishing trip this week, and you gonna do everything to try to get all the details about his fishing trip, even though you don't have no interest in fishing. That's what you gonna do, and that's why you are laughing stock. And it's embarrassing sometimes to be a black man. I wouldn't trade my black skin in for $1 billion. I love my black skin. I love my freeform dread, but I'm at a point now where I am embarrassed to go certain places because I understand. And these other races of people, see, they don't understand. They don't know, okay, that's a ghetto one. That's a sophisticated one. I know. They look at us how we dress. I most of the time I dress, comfortably. I got dread up. I could look at a brother and be like, okay, he got dread, but he not on no, you know what I'm saying? I can tell other races can't. So I get automatically threw in the pot with the YNs and the foolish Negroes. And this is why I tell all of my brothers and sisters that they not on my side, they not on their side, they in the middle. But they scared to speak about it because they don't want to quote unquote lose their black card. They don't want to lose family and friends. Let me show you something, man. When you stand on truth, you're going to lose people. That's why the Bible says, why Jesus told the disciples in Matthew chapter 10, I didn't come to the world to bring peace. I came to the world to turn a father against his son and a mother against her daughter. Listen, when you speak truth, that's what's going to happen. Your own mama hates you in some situation. Your own daddy, your brothers. But you got to stand on truth because truth is when you stand on truth, you know God stand behind you. And that's all you need, bro. And I know that's easier said than done, but I'm just giving it to you raw. Right? And so the people that's in the middle that won't say nothing because they feel losing friend or family or whatever, listen, you being judged too. See, that's why I tell them, you ain't going to say nothing, but you go place and you getting stereotyped for nothing because you not no ghetto black person, but you not no radical, conservative, or I'm going to speak my piece and let it be known I ain't like them person. You just fall in the middle, right? But it's funny that he said that, man, that they did this happen all over. Nobody grabbing no phones, hollering, crying, talking about who, none of that. It's quiet. Church house mouse. I'll go a step further. It's children every day who get shot in the head while playing their Xbox because some fools outside shooting with their eyes closed doing drive-bys and hit the wrong person, hit the wrong house. You never hear him speak about that. You don't hear Roland Martin talk about that. You don't hear Jasmine Cratch Croc, whatever her name is, talk about that. You don't hear at Roland. You don't hear Joy Reid, Donna Lemon. You don't hear none of them. Tiffany Cross. You don't hear none of the Abigail Phillips. You don't hear none of these people talk about that. Get on their show, bring awareness, say their name. You don't hear none of that. Children getting killed by stray bullets, and it's quiet as a church house mouse. I'm gonna show you another thing. Carmelo raised almost $500,000 only because he killed a white boy. They got black children in the hood with lemonade stands, little summer hustles that they do. I'm talking about it's all kind of stuff going on in Black America that need funding, and y'all won't donate a penny to them. You won't donate a penny to your nephew that's in your hood selling lemonade right now. And if you do give him something, you gonna want free lemonade. I'm talking about these people who donated to that. They got family members right now. I call them and ask them for $100, and they'll tell them no. Right? They'll tell them no. They got all kind of stuff going on in the black community that people need funding. Just for New Year's, Mississippi Valley State, which is an HBCU, got invited to perform for Donald Trump at the inauguration. You know how hard it was for them to raise that money, not to mention that, and it wasn't even with, I think it was like 200, 300,000 they needed to raise, but they barely raised that and it took them a while to raise that. Good thing they had, started their GoFundMe way before, and they was told way before they wouldn't have made it. But this dude raised that in a month, $500,000 because he killed a white boy. But y'all didn't want to send these young men to go play for the president. In my opinion, the fact, the most legendary president that ever took office. A man who got shot at, convicted, all the stuff that man went through, and that man still overcame and became president. This is legendary. We're going to tell our grandkids about this one day. We live to see a president go through everything no other president went through, no other president overcame, and still be president. And instead of the black community getting behind them young children and saying, man, we're going to make sure. Because black people got the money. Trust and believe, we got the money. Capital is not a problem for black America at this point. But instead of us getting behind that young man and saying, you know what, we want to make sure get behind them young men and women. Mississippi Valley State, which is the college that Jerry Rice came from, the legendary wide receiver, we gonna put money. But guess why black people didn't want it? Now, a lot of black people did support people like me, that's conservative. But you know why black people was against it? Oh, they gonna perform for Trump and he racist. Just stupid. But yet they will help raise $500,000 in under 30 days for a young black man who killed a white boy for nothing. See what I'm saying? You see that? So I'm just showing you how black people are a laughing stock and why. Finish, brother.
Fucking, I know this because this type of stuff happens in the community every day, and they don't care. They don't say nothing. Nobody's upset about it. It's just a normal thing. So this is the same thing. This is no different than Black Lives Matter. The only time people care about teenage boys killing each other, because it happened in the hood every single day. The only time these motherfuckers care is when a white person is involved and they can make it a race thing. That's the only time y'all care about what happens with youth in the community. That's the only time. And it's sick. And I want to make just one last point, right? Because again, I'm looking at this through the lens of a father, right? You can call me whatever you want. Uncle Tom, tap dancing for the white man. I don't give a fuck. Say whatever you want. They're now trying to condemn this father for showing up to the press conference, right? Like he's doing something wrong. I salute that man for being able to stand there in silence and holding it together the way he did, because if I had just lost my child and the killer and his family is being paraded around as if they were the victims, if I'm watching these motherfuckers make t-shirts and I'm watching these motherfuckers take pictures, I don't think I could hold it together like that. So I respect it. And it's just funny because, again, if you just swap the race, right? If the black father had showed up to the press conference, right, of the white family who's killed his son, y'all would be celebrating that shit, man. Look at them standing up to the white. That's what y'all would be saying. Y'all are a bunch of fucking hypocrites, man. It is what it is. It is what it is.
I want y'all to listen to me closely. Try your best to hear.
Listen to Mr. 1D closely. Listen to him very closely.
Everything please. The black community is done. We're done. This is it. This shows the whole country exactly what I've been saying. The devil got them. They're gone. Bye. Why does it take for us to do something bad to get support? Like, we got to do some of the most hideous, heinous stuff for our own people to back us up. What sense does that make? This young man just did something that I know he regretted. But before he did this, he was actually an athlete that was very fast and probably going places. Had zero support. We didn't even know who he was. This is just facts. But he goes off, makes a very bad decision, unalived the guy, and now the black community has raised over $400,000 for him. $400,000, man, because he did something bad. Wow. When the band members at Valley State University in Mississippi needed help to get to the inauguration, mind you, these are kids who are just trying to do something good to showcase their talents. This is a HBCU, predominantly black people. They got from the community. Instead, they got slandered. But they're innocent. No support.
I did a whole video on that situation. It's on my channel. And I had forgot he had spoke about that. Funny he spoke about that because I did say something about that. But when that happened around, in January, you can go look at it. I did a whole video on that series. Just for the record. I mean, not a series. I did a whole video on that situation about Mississippi Valley State. Go check it out.
Rapper Lil Durk can make all of this pew pew music, this unaliving music. He gets caught up for his wrongdoings, and we're screaming, free him. Big Meech did so much to destroy the black community before he went to the feds. And when he get out, everybody's celebrating as if he was.
I gotta say something on that real fast. We the only community who celebrate degeneracy, drug lords, killers. We celebrate these people, right? And then when you have somebody like me or him speaking, we bootlickers, we coons, we Uncle Toms. But it's so funny to me how these rappers, as he aforementioned, about how they talk about killing each other. They talk about they disrespect black women daily, every song, and the way they treat them, just putting babies in them. And you know what? They worship them. Why they not the coons? Why are they not the coons? They the ones helping destroy the community, right? But you know what? You know why a lot of black men and women look up to these people, these degenerates? Because a lack of fathers, right? See, fathers, this is the main issue with our community, lack of fathers. And I'm blaming the men. The men get 75% of the blame and the women get 25%. And the reason why the woman get 25% of the blame, I know that even though the man the head, that's why he get a bigger piece. But the reason why the woman get 25% of it, because guess what? If you've dated a black, I've dated all races of women, but I've never dated nobody like the black woman. The black woman will turn into Sherlock Holmes when y'all in a relationship to find out if you cheating and find out everything. Where you at, when, how long, everything. Who your friend, who you used to be. But they won't put that same effort into picking the father or picking the man that they choose to inseminate them, right? Right? And the reason why these Negroes get 75% of blame because y'all are the head. And y'all making these baby women y'all don't want to be with. Y'all just want some raw sex. And what y'all doing is y'all contributing to the destruction of the community by these young men being raised and these young women being raised in the home without no guidance. So they by default listen to the rappers. They by default follow these type of people because these type of people preach a lifestyle getting rich. And black community think that getting rich is the end all be all.
Putting people through school and, making sure people's, tuitions were paid for. We champion him. We champion all of the bad apples. We champion them. Like, black people are not dumb. We're not stupid. But for some reason, we feel as though bad is good. This is, what? Are y'all serious right now? What? Charleston White is the biggest example of this. He was humble in his start, a community activist, showing up to city council meetings, trying to do what he can to empower the youth in Fort Worth. Never got any support whatsoever. Wasn't cursing, wasn't saying an N-word, wasn't doing none of this. Flip the script for Charleston White. Now he's one of the most foul-mouthed, against this, against that, and now he's wealthy because of it. He was a good guy, no, nothing. He turned bad, now look at him. Huh? I'm saying all that to say this. God is needed. The word of God is needed. There's a lot of these so-called Christians who are blacker than their love for Christ.
Preach it.
They rather sit up there and tell you that they down for the culture than telling you they down for what's right and what's righteous. And now the hypocrites are coming out of the woodworks. We can see them. Separate yourself from them. Separate yourself from them. That's what's destroying this country right now. The wrongdoers. The doers of iniquities. And they are exposing themselves. But y'all can't even see it because you don't have a relationship with the Father. Instead, you want to join with it because you think it's cool. I can't stand this, man. Because this makes us look so bad as a people, bro. Like, I ain't the only one see this. What?
Definitely not,
My
brother.
prayers for little Camelo in Austin, his family, because they don't get a chance to see him anymore. Anthony got out. His family still gonna get to see him. Unfortunately, these are two kids, and their families' lives have changed forever. There's no winner in this. No winner whatsoever, bro. The devil won. And you got people that want to continue to see the devil win.
Unfortunately.
And unfortunately for me, it's a lot of people look like me. Man, we gotta do better, man.
So we're gonna go to this is the last exhibit, and then I'm gonna close this video with my final commentary. But I want you to listen to what this lady said. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give my commentary and I'm gonna close with her video. That's how I'm gonna do that. I want to give y'all an analogy right quick. And those of you who have children, y'all gonna understand this analogy very well. Picture everywhere your child goes, they cause chaos, right? And whether it's a school, in the neighborhood, wherever they go, they get bad reports. But you tell your child, hey man, that's everybody, that's the teacher, that's the school, that's this, that's the coach, it's not you. You know what's gonna happen to your child? Your child gonna crash and burn and bring so much shame and reproach on you. Well, guess who that child has become in America? Black people. And even though it's not all of us, it's most. And I'm Black fatigue have said it. Again, I'm not going to address with that. You can look it up. It's a trending thing right now, but I'm tired of it. Everybody tired of it, but I'm tired of it. As a black man, when black people start getting tired of it, that's when it's a real issue. Because now we got to, a lot of other people been tired of it. They didn't say nothing. Because they care more about the bottom line. Right? But it's like not everybody tired of it. This is why you had situations like the Shiloh Hendrix situation. But I'll speak on it in another video. Everybody tired of it. And it's just so embarrassing at this point. Like I said, as mentioned in my video, man, I love my skin. I love I love everything about me. But I've been recently thinking hard, man, about just recreate myself. Changing my wardrobe, cutting my dreads off. Because, when you, like I have mentioned, when you go in a place and you trying to network and you trying to make stuff happen, right, in this world, man, a lot of black people have become persona non grata, man. Black people don't want to deal, especially when you look like me, right? Because they don't know this dude got drink, you know what I'm saying? And, as I always speak about the black dollar and how important it is, and we would spend money with each other, we wouldn't have to go network with other people so we could look and dress how we want to dress, but we don't do that. We don't want to see our brother doing better than us, so we ain't putting no money in his pocket, so we have to see him wear our money. So because of that, because we got this hate within our community like that, we got to spend with other people and network with other people. Not to mention, even if going back to the situation with spending money with each other, now it's not only because we don't want to see each other weigh each other money. It's our customer service horrible with each other. Always want deals and discount. Just disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Just a black enterprise is a mess. All right. So we gotta go in the world and deal with other people and network with other people and make money with other people. But a lot of these people, it's just they cutting them lines, man. Again, Black America is becoming persona non grata. Nobody don't want to deal with us unless they God darn it have to. They'll spend extra money with somebody else just not to deal with us. But you know, and you can't be mad at them and be like, oh man, they racist, man, because you know a lot of us that have woken up out of our slumber don't want to deal with our own people. I mean, I'm just being honest about it. It's time where I go in the bank and I'll get in the white woman line. She got a line when the black woman might have one person. I get in the white woman line and wait because I don't want to deal with her attitude. She might not even have one because it is time where I'm shot. I'm not going to lie. I got to say this time where I might be in the hospital or certain place and I'm dealing with a black receptionist and they are above and beyond polite, sweet, helpful. But that's not the most part. The majority of them are nasty. They're real mean. They act like they don't want to help you. And it don't matter if you could be in Walmart asking one of them for help. They just real nasty people. And like I said, I spoke about that in my last video on why. Especially I'm not picking, but I'm calling a spade, especially the black woman. Right? But you know, but yeah, man. So like I said, man. It's so sad that the black people is becoming the brat of America. Nobody want to be around you. We always blame somebody else for our stuff. Nobody taking accountability. And you know, I said all that to say this here. Both of these families is hurt. But and my brother just said, Austin Metcalf, the white young brother, his family lost their son forever. They'll never see him again. And what y'all about to witness in this video, that this loser, Dominique Alexander, which is the representative, not legal, but just some quote unquote representative for for Mr. Carmelo Anthony family, he actually making it as if Carmelo is the victim. Like, I mean, it's you know, just no accountability. No accountability. He is actually making this like, I understand people make money and hustle, but before I would have been that disingenuous, I'd have been embarrassed to just say, you know what, I'm not going to even take the case. Because I can't get up there and say nothing like this. Yeah, because he had to prepare this with the family before he spoke. And he literally went up there promoting his business and making it as if the killer is the victim. And why did he do that? Because again, for the last time, this is what has been going on in Black America for the last, 50, 60 years. It's not your fault, black man. It's not your fault, black woman. It's the white man. So no matter what you do, you are the victim. And that's bullshit. Excuse my language, because I don't even curse. But I'm going to let this sister make it plain for y'all. Thank y'all for listening. I'll be closing this video. And I will be dropping a part 2 to this as soon as possible. Maybe today or maybe tomorrow. Thank y'all for listening to me. Vern again speaks out.
Entire press conference from Carmelo Anthony's family, you know, the 17-year-old who killed the other 17-year-old at the track meet. Yeah, him. And honestly, I don't think they should have done this press conference at all. I think it did them more harm than good. Here are the 6 major red flags that I heard. Number 1, they started off bad by kicking out Austin Metcalf's dad. Yeah, the dad to the kid who actually died showed up, and they found that to be inappropriate and had police actually escort him off the grounds. Now, I understand that maybe it's a little bit odd or weird that he would just show up and maybe you feel intimidated by that. However, he is the father of the victim who actually passed away. They went as far as to say that him showing up to the press conference was disrespectful to the dignity of Austin Metcalf.
The father being at this press conference is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Wow.
What an insane statement to make. You guys are the ones who should be showing him some respect. I get that it's a tough situation for both sides, but at least your son is still alive. 2, the amount of name dropping that the spokesperson did for his company was egregious.
The Next Generation Action Network has been here.
He said Next Generation Action Network like 12 different times. I had to stop counting after a certain point. Are you here to plug your company or here to support the family? Pick one. 3, having the audacity to blame the school for the actual death. Yeah, he said that the school should be held accountable for not actually canceling the meet because of the rain.
I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single...
Remember what I said, no accountability is always someone else's fault. Always someone else's fault. It's not your fault that you go everywhere and cause chaos. It's not your fault that everywhere you go as a bad report. It's their fault because you're black.
Board of Trustees, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds.
Apparently, he doesn't know that oftentimes athletes will perform in the rain, and guess what? 99.9% of the time, they're able to go home without having any stab wounds to the chest. Then, they even had the audacity to try to complain about the school wanting to expel Carmelo for, killing someone.
But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation.
Of course they wouldn't expel him for killing somebody. Ain't that racist? And guess what? I want to give an update on that. They actually letting him graduate. Now, he can't walk on the stage with everybody else, but they all allow him to graduate after killing somebody. And that's because the ISD in that area is afraid of what's going to happen. They know the race hustlers will be coming to town saying this is about race. So they coward and allow this young man who killed somebody at school, at a school setting, to graduate. Yes, that is happening.
That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame.
Like, what planet are you living on? You can't bring a weapon onto school grounds, pull it out, stab someone, and then just be...
Excuse me, sweetie. He living on victim planet because I'm black. Woe to me because I'm black and a victim. That's the planet he live on, sweetie. Like so many other blacks.
Expected to walk at your graduation next week. No, it doesn't work that way, buddy. Then we gotta talk about the tone of the mom's message.
I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial.
And this is another thing I had to speak on. I really had to say this, and I'm gonna be brief on this. Don't y'all know? And we all know, man. And like I said, I'm not gonna go too deep into this here, but we all know that the black community, the whole America for the most part, but no community like the black community is under the Jezebel spirit. I'm talking about, man, who got the most black preachers, most black women preachers? Black community. And even in households like this here, where it's a 2-parent household, this dude behind his wife sobbing like a little boy and letting his wife speak at a press conference concerning their family. This never would have happened 60 years ago. It would have been talked about on front page news that a married couple together let the woman speak. The man speak and be the strength for the woman. She's supposed to be grabbing on his arm, rubbing his shoulder as she sobbed and he speak. And here he is, she crying, and he behind her sobbing too, like a little boy. You know why that is? Again, as for mentioned, because these Negroes have left their children to be raised by these women. He is a mama's boy. He was raised by his mama, and that's why she's running the house. She runs the household, not him. He stay in Frisco, so he's making some type of money, probably an engineer or something. I don't know, but he's a successful brother. But he's a beta boy, and he's up there with mama. Really, that's I'm just saying that's his wife, and she leads the household. So because she's the head of the household, that's not even the order of God. The order of God is Christ and man, God and Christ, Christ and man, man over woman, woman over children. But clearly in this household, she's the head of the household, right? So what does that mean? That means that this is a feminine household. And that trickled down to Carmelo. This is why he was not able to control himself like majority of these young black men. This is why they're getting killed by the police. This is why they kill each other, because they raised by mama and they got all that overly emotional impulsiveness in them, like the woman. See, the man have emotions, but he's not impulsive. He's not supposed to be anyway. He's supposed to look at things from a perspective of seeing the futures, weighing the options of everything. That's the man's job. You know what I'm saying? That's not the woman's job. This is why the Bible say clearly the man was made for the woman. The woman was not made for the man. I mean, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. The woman was made for the man, and not the other way around. The man is the head at all times. In any situation where he is in the building but not being the head, he letting the woman do it, the building is gonna fall. You know what I'm saying? And this is not a disrespect to women. Women are amazing creatures. But their role on this earth is to be a helpmeet, not a leader. That's not their God-given position on this earth, right? So it's not me picking at women and all this and all that. That's not their role. Some of these Negroes head of household, they running the household wrong too. Because I know y'all, well, what about, but I'm saying for the most part, a real man at the head of his household gonna run correctly because he's the one that has structure. He's the disciplinarian. Women are not these things. And when they're forced in these positions, they perform horribly. And this is why you had a situation you had where they kill each other for nothing. They getting killed by the police because they don't respect authority. They don't have no discipline. They overly emotional and impulsive like a woman.
Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state. But those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us.
Now, I get it. She's distraught. Apparently, she's got all these death threats coming at her and her family, which is horrible, and those people are absolutely disgusting. However, Austin Metcalf's family also has death threats being thrown at them because a lot of people in America are garbage. But the fact that she went up to that podium and was pretty much yelling at everyone, was so angry, it just doesn't come across the right way. Austin Metcalf is dead. You don't get to act like you're the bigger victim in the situation. I'm sorry, but most of the public is not going to view it that way. And lastly, they are racializing the hell out of this case. There were so many racial undertones in the commentary that was being made.
Black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a black man in America.
I get it. Being black in America comes with its own set of challenges. I would never deny that. However, I don't see what race has to do with this situation. Even if Austin Metcalf said racial things towards Carmelo Anthony, it would still not excuse him pulling out a knife and stabbing him in the heart. So bringing up race in these matters and acting like that's why people have an issue with your son doing that is ridiculous, and it actually holds the black community back further because it makes it look like we're always complaining about ridiculous things when we should clearly be able to say that wrong is wrong. Carmelo Anthony deserves a fair trial. Absolutely. Do I still believe that his self-defense claim is a little bit ridiculous? Yes, I do. Do I reserve the right to say that I'm wrong if something crazy comes out in the trial and there's some piece of evidence that we didn't know about? Yeah, sure. But as of right now, I don't see what that would be. The fact that the family is even deciding to give this press conference and not just wait for the trial shows that they clearly care about public perception. So do you think that this press conference helped them with that, or did it just make things worse for them? Let me know in the comment section below. So I just watched that entire